Cheers, everybody. Welcome to the Late Sesh. It is your favorite MBGS crew. Sorry we weren't here last night. Well, I'm sure we'll find a way to get back live on Sundays. It's been a couple busy weeks for all of us, but cheers. How's everybody doing tonight? We were just talking pre-show about this heat wave that we're literally getting warnings about on our weather apps and phones. It's like 94 to 96 degrees. Like,
we were 96
pretty much all week. And I was checking humidity too, just to give you guys a reference for some of you guys that are out in like maybe the more southwest portion of the country that's a lot drier. We're rocking pretty much anywhere from lows of 60% humidity to highs of about 95% humidity. So 95 plus 95 equals death. I've been hiding inside most of the day.
It was hot. I kayaked today with people from work, so it was really hot, but we were under the shade at times. But once we, came out from under that shade, it was baking. Ooh, the kayak was so hot. Woo! Like 103 is what I heard was the heat index.
Ooh, I believe it.
That's too much. Too much.
Yeah, way too much. Cheers, everybody. Ruben.
Hey.
Hey.
What's up? Back up. Red. Ruben.
Ooh.
He's insane.
Oh,
Ow! Just crunched my bone.
Oh, we're live. Never mind.
I just watched a body cam video of some dog that the owner was not able to handle in like Wisconsin somewhere, and cop got bit all the way down to the bone.
Ooh.
Yeah, not good. They didn't shoot it though. I was really surprised on that one.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, cops don't play in Jackson. They'll shoot your dogs all day long.
Oh.
Well, on that note, how's everybody doing?
Ruben is a biter, but
he's a family biter.
To play, he's trying to play.
Yeah, play bite. It's not a.
She's a lover, not a biter.
He thinks it's
He's a
fun.
chewer. Here, got a little thing here.
Drink lots of water. It's this hot.
There he goes. If I give him this thing,
Good point. I came prepared.
Hey, good color scheme. Is that red?
It's blaze orange, which I think you can also appreciate.
That's Nut Tree's wearing red.
Yeah, here you go. Oh, that looks pretty red right there.
Speaking of Nut Tree, good to see you, man. It's been a little bit.
Red. There we go. On brand.
That's orange.
Oh, that's the orange one.
And when you put it next to the white,
screen and grab
it's the white balance in the room. Watch this. Oh, now it's red. Look at that white balance change.
Okay, there you go.
And it's orange. Oh, that's fun. All right.
Do it again.
Blaze orange, everybody. Doesn't matter what color we wear. The deer can't see you.
Man, I must be colorblind. That looks red to me.
It's definitely the white balance changing. It definitely was shading.
Okay, what color is Nut Tree's shirt to you then?
Is my shirt green?
Magenta? What?
Did you say green?
Oh, jeez.
All right, let's go with patterns, or maybe just letters.
What's going on? I heard magenta. And then I heard green.
So what'd you all do to beat the heat? Oh, go ahead, Becca. Becca started before me. I'll let her.
I was going to ask Tara how kayak was.
It was good.
Beat the heat.
We had a good time. It was a bit rowdy getting started. Last year when we did this with work, only one went into water right off the bat. But it was raining last year and yucky, and this year was just hot. I mean, it's been hot all day. We had so many people in the water this time. It was crazy. I mean, just right off, not even before everybody's kayaks flew in. So it was a little trying for a bit.
Just to keep cool, they were just getting.
No, they were just being silly. Mm-hmm. More than just silly, there was a little drinking involved. So I was like, whatever.
That'll happen.
I know, it is what it is.
It's always getting in and out of the kayaks. That's the hardest part, right? Like, it's once you're in there, you're fine. You're kind of sitting in there tucked away, as long as you don't like find a log to roll over or I don't know, some rapids to splash down.
Never had a bit of trouble. I got stuck on a couple logs, but no trouble.
Panicking from a spider. That'll tip
That'll
you.
do it.
That will tip you. Oh, I saw a snake in the fucking water.
Underneath your kayak, in the inside of it. a squirrel in there, we'll definitely.
Yeah. So
Was it a water moccasin?
I have no clue because I didn't get close enough to
He said, "Hell not."
But one of the guys in our group like raises snakes for a living kind of thing, and he's like, "No, that wasn't a water moccasin." And I mean, it was very small and skinny, like a garter snake, but it was very, very dark brown. But just the point that you're in the water, kayaking down, and you see a snake go across, it's going to be unnerving to anybody. I don't care
For
what
sure.
it says. You're going to think the worst.
I think one of the things is you look for the, what is it, diamond or triangle shaped heads or something like that,
Oh,
right?
I didn't get that damn close. Woo, no way.
I'm just saying if you are.
You hit them with the oar, right where the diamond is. You hit them with the oar.
Yeah.
Nope. Not that close. Not even
Or a
risky.
blaze orange water bottle.
Yeah, usually that's nice and handy. Especially if it's full. That's like 32 ounces. I don't know how many ounces that is. A lot of
I was
ounces.
very surprised to see that because we did the same river run last year, and I didn't see any snakes last year. So that was ooh.
You know what though?
It was really
Maz
fast this year too.
Masu Pot and I noticed today that it seems like this heat is bringing out all the animals, man. It felt like when we were driving down our country roads that we were driving through a safari. There was that many animals alongside the road. And it's also that time of year that a lot of things are getting born, including the little fawn deer, right? So I think I mentioned this show, maybe it was the other show, but I've got one living in my front yard and one living in my backyard. We keep seeing them every day, and we keep seeing them running across, other ones running across the roads. And unfortunately, it's usually the time of year where you also see a lot of them along the expressways, but none of that so far, just a lot of adults. But we had one grown adult about 3 hours ago eating out of our chicken feeder with our chickens in our backyard, a full ass deer with all of our chickens, like 25 chickens hanging out with this deer. All
That's
eating
okay,
out of
man. You feeding all your livestock. That deer will be on your table next year.
Stop for them. Yeah, well,
Equal
that's
opportunity.
true. That is true. Just see in a few months, you know what I mean? But I mean, even last night we saw like raccoons and their babies in our yard, which I'm not a huge fan of those, to be honest, just because of the chickens. But the squirrels going crazy, the ribs, what do they call them? The ribeye in the sky, the sandhill cranes, you know, just those lined up. Yeah, man. Like, I know you know a lot about them too, knocking at your guys' old doors.
They're assholes. Yeah, they're assholes.
I looked for them today because this route that we do we were in Indiana, and the route that we do, there's usually like the herring and the cranes. So, and I didn't see any because I mean it was way built up, like shrubbery wise or whatever, cattails, whatever those were.
Shrubbery.
That's exactly where my head went. Shrubbery.
I know. I didn't know what to call it.
You will bring me back one
Vegetation.
shrubbery, and you will chop down the mightiest tree in the forest with a herring. All right, that's my end quote.
I saw a lot of fish today.
Did you catch
Definitely
any?
saw a lot of, no, just saw some. More than I did last year. I didn't see any last year at all, and this year I definitely saw a lot of fish.
Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it's just like a good year for spawning. I don't know. Do you guys go at the same time every year?
Yeah, we did go the same time last year. But last year it was raining when we went, and it was really yucky out. And this time it was a bit dry and really hot, so it's different.
I would think that all the animals would want to hunker down when it's super hot like this, but they were
The
everywhere.
group ahead of me saw a muskrat or something like that cross the river. So we were, I guess it's called Mungo in Indiana. I'm not sure. I don't know if that's the area or the river or.
It's the name of the town, Mongo, Indiana. It's the Mongo River. Also, there's the river that runs through there. It's
nice.
It's a little. I've been there before when there were dead deer. There was a bad Lyme disease once, and dead deer would go to the water to die, and it was real bad one year, and it smelled so bad you didn't want to get into the water because it was so stank. You know,
that sounds real inviting to go back to.
Yeah,
just that time, but other times it was.
You guys should try the Flint River next time.
I was telling her the bad time that it could have there.
Yeah, so we wanted to share with y'all too.
So yeah,
because he thought you needed to hear that.
There's good times there too. They're just
We had fun. There was a
Depends
bunch
on
of
what time of year you
there
go.
was a bunch of kids jumping off the bridge when we were bringing in the boats today, and yeah, it's a good trail, but you got to work. I mean, I'm gonna be really sore tomorrow.
There's like 2 canoe liveries there, and there's camping all over. There's people who always come from all over the place to go there just for kayaking and canoeing or whatever, and fishing, I guess, too.
I think one of the cats have something attached to them. One of the cats is running around. There's a crazy noise attached to it. I was like, I think they've got something attached to it.
I'm trying to get up to the tent.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's an ornament.
Oh,
It's got an
jeez.
ornament.
In June?
Anybody want to eat cats? Oh my gosh.
The answer is always no.
I know that with you. That and squirrels. That and squirrels. I know the answer.
No squirrels. Yeah, I don't need
I know.
Now, if I had a lot of squirrels, I would be interested in a cat. If I had a lot of squirrels, I would be interested in an outdoor cat.
Oh, maybe that's what I need, an outdoor cat. I know we've talked
Dude.
about it.
For you.
They're the mass murderers, man. They just
I have so many squirrels right now. They're everywhere, dude.
get you an outdoor cat, man.
Delivery upon request.
I think that's a homesteader's like staple. You got to eventually get you an outdoor cat to hunt around your property.
I mean, I know we have at least one, maybe, probably 2 of them that hunt on our property, but they're not ours. We know that. I don't think they live here.
That's the perfect cat to have.
That's kind of how I feel about it. You know, but it'd just be nice if they get rid of these squirrels, but they just won't come close enough to the house where the squirrels are just like, oh yeah, no, we're hanging out too with the chickens all day, every day.
Get a airsoft gun or a paintball gun.
It's well, dude, that's the thing. I have all sorts of options like that, but they hang out with the chickens and on the bird feeders. And stuff, so it's like I'm not trying to take out these robins or blue jays or my dome chickens or any of these other waterfowl type, anything with wings. I guess I'm just trying to take out these furry little assholes.
That's why you use airsoft. That way you can't kill your birds. It'll just be enough to get those squirrels to move on. Yeah.
And my dog, like, she knows she can't get them, so she don't even try anymore. Although an opossum, of course, the ones you want to keep around, she ragdolled one of those the other night. It's like, come on, man.
Oh, man.
Save it for the raccoons because they're coming. They're moving in, man. Every time this year, you just start seeing them getting closer to the chicken coops. I say, no, go away.
So it's been a while, but we haven't talked about the event we were at, did we? Have we officially talked about it on the show?
We haven't talked about it on the Bro Show Live, but we talked about it on the Late Sesh last
Yeah, we did have a Late Sesh recap. Yeah. Talked a little bit about it in the beginning and then a little bit about it at the end. But if you got more to say, let's do it. And we've had a couple other events going on this weekend
I'd
too.
also like to hear about the events that Fagurley was at this past week.
That's what I was kind of more into. Was just like, have we any more events coming up that we'd want to look into? I've seen a bunch of them coming up.
Yeah, there's certainly quite a few coming up. I will talk about the one I did this past weekend. So, Brian from Pelipolaire, who's a pretty popular water solventless hash guy, also makes equipment. But he runs an educational clinic, and it's a 2-day clinic that's 8 hours of lectures and I believe 8 hours of demonstrations. It's I want to say probably had somewhere in the range of like 30, 40 students, maybe something like that. And it was held at Vehicle City Social. Vehicle City Social is a compassion club that has, caregivers present and things like that. But they also have they got a full kitchen and stage and live music, and they have a podcasting studio and all sorts of stuff there. But their back room, they have this back room, which is plenty big enough to hold a class like this. And probably a lot of other things you could do back there. But
what the hell does that mean?
No,
other things we could do back there.
I don't like where your mind is going, and I don't want to I don't know if I want to talk about this live, but I was talking to some other people while you're there, and it's like, we've talked about doing our own competitions or events or just sessions or something like that, and seems like it's a pretty opportune place to do something like that. So without getting too into the weeds about it, maybe we do that off air, but just float that idea out there. But chill, geez, Russ, relax. There's so much room for activity. Okay,
I like to know what we're talking about. That's all.
Sorry, sometimes I try not to get
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just want to know if Red and Becca have a safe word for when they need like a rescue. Because Ruben seems to be tearing them up right now.
It's help. It's help. 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 He's a good boy.
No safe word.
The phrase is carrot, leave the greens on.
I'm not gonna remember that.
All of it. The greens.
That just sounds like something Red would say in a normal conversation. How the hell are we supposed to pick it up?
Usually when it's in the heat of the moment, it's like, Garrett, with the greens on.
It's just frantic.
Exclamation point. Ruben knows. See. I think
he knows the word.
Right now.
We were at the farm all day, and it's a little warm there, and he didn't get much outside time, and so he's just a little angry.
Cooler inside than outside. Outside would have been way hotter. We beat the heat today by being in our grow rooms. Our grow rooms were way colder than the shop, indoor of the shop, and outside. Shop's probably same temperature as outside. Our office was nice and cool. We don't have air conditioning in the office, but it's very well insulated. So it was like 75 in there all day long. The balls under the couch. That's the situation that we have going on.
That is a dire emergency situation, dude.
Yes.
That's bad. Yeah.
He's obsessed.
Shout out to Blue Kiss Gardens. She got some. I passed her some more seeds that she's going to be planting outside this year. But she says she was able to grab 3 cuts from Old Man Hermit Hash of Vortex. She's going to go up against or to add with the cuts of Project V she's got. So that's cool. That'll be interesting to see.
She picked those up a couple, about a month ago at the Third Eye, the saline when we were there. She picked those up when Old Man was there. He was handing that. A lot of people got those cuts that day, so it's interesting.
Sweet.
Yeah, a lot of people got a lot of cuts. That was. He was
I love seeing that.
It was all about sharing, and I mean, and he like was on the out when everybody was checking out for the day. He was like, "Does anybody need any cuts? Anybody need anything?" And there he was, ready to hand out. It was so cool. Shout out to
awesome.
Nash.
Yeah, shout out Old Man Hermit. I still have to go get a cut from him. He hit me up. I just haven't been able to get out there. I've been busy.
Yeah, he's busy too. He's got a lot going on right now. So summertime is busy for everybody right now.
For sure.
Preach. Go get it.
So is that what you guys? I seen that Red and Becca, you guys have got not just events like Third Eye going, but you also have that homesteading event or something that you guys have signed up for. Are you guys vending that, or are you guys just going and participating?
Yeah, we are vending the Divine Pine Gathering.
That's what it was, Divine Pine.
It's a family friendly. Am I saying these words properly? A family friendly event. It's in Irish Hills, Michigan. Irish Hills is a region composing of like Brooklyn, Columbia Township, Napoleon, Onstead, a handful of these little townships. All the lake notes. It's Michigan's southern cottage land. Pretty much everybody from like Ohio, well, many people from like Ohio and Indiana and stuff like that would go up north. They'd go into lower Michigan. When we go up north, we go into northern Michigan, et cetera, et cetera. So it's kind of like, but a lot of people from southern Michigan hang out. There's 52 small inland lakes. And by small section of a few hundred acres, I mean, they're rather large inland lakes for their size. Many of them are man-made, real estate, by design. Many of them are also part of the natural water features dug out and created by the glaciers that have receded that receded over the last 10,000 years. Pretty cool region. And that event is going to have foraging, all kinds of stuff. They teach all kinds of, like you said, homesteading skills, a lot of just not just handcraft type skills, but a lot of eco-conscious, earth-conscious, part of like some of the requirements for vending is like intentional source materials, not using any like epoxies or plastics. It might leave out a lot of art types, but in the end, a lot of those types of materials hold a high carbon footprint, things like that. They're a processed material and things like that, rather than just something you can naturally source, grow your own, create.
I think I read that the camping of it is like take what you bring or whatever. So like all the garbage you bring, they won't have garbage cans or bags on the site. You have to take back all the garbage you bring.
Pack in, pack out.
Pack in, pack out. Yep.
Yeah, they say like no, they won't provide silverware, that kind of stuff. So to bring like silverware, I think there is food trucks. Oh, now he's humping me.
A lot of the food trucks and like things that they do is like by appointment, basically. This one might not be, but some events that are hosted in the area, like they'll have a food vendor and they'll like have pre-orders for the food vendor. So like if you get tickets for the event, it's like either sign up for a ticket for food or don't, because they might not have enough for you. It's basically like these are methods to ensure it's a small batch mentality, right? It's not necessarily like to invite scarcity, but like in a way shit runs out, you know what I mean? You're not oversupplying in that sense. You don't create a lot of waste. The intention is not scarcity, the intention is abundance. But in that, I mean, you can only have so much per person of abundance, before you overdo your scale, and then you need to rely on other forms. Blah blah blah. I'm tangenting, but either way, the event's earth friendly, earth conscious event. Foraging, canoeing, kayaking, archery. I might be intertwining different events that are put on by the same promoters and things like that. So you really just have to go to Divine Pine Gathering and check it out. I've never been to the event. I've only researched it. I've been wanting to attend for many years. It's a biannual event, so it only happens every couple of years. So I think it's been for like the last 6 years or something. I've been wanting to go out there. Local to the region, it's right down the street from us, and I've never had a chance to go. There's always something I have going on, whether it's another festival or something like that. But
it's a cool part. There's like part of the cannabis community that's also involved. People who are really into like regenerative, organic.
A large focus is
that
type of growing
no-till.
food.
It's like a sector of those people crossed with homesteaders, small scale farmers.
So you guys are going to be going with Rosemary's Oasis, but are you bringing any red setter to it?
It's not a cannabis event, so it's not really something that we're promoting. It's a family friendly event. It's not. I mean, I'm sure there's cannabis community there, but it's more like a living soil, eco, intentional community type of an event.
Music as well.
Yeah, music. There's probably drum circles, shit like that. I mean, for what it is, it's a big hippie fest, like a real hippie fest, not like a peace signs everywhere hippie fest, like actual learning about the earth, the nature, a lot of that type of stuff.
Yeah, I liked a lot of everything I was seeing when I looked at it online until I saw the price of tickets to go. Nice that they
haven't seen that either. I'm not sure what the price of the tickets are. I'm coming at this.
It's nice that they include younger people for free though, so that makes it better.
What's the age on that? 7 and under or 12 and under?
Go up.
I think it's 12.
12 and under. Yeah, a lot of times festivals like that will do like an early bird or like, 6 months out, they give you like special pricing, and then the closer you get to the event, the ticket prices go up, expecting the demand to go up or demand goes down or whatever happens with it. But
I will say, though, it was cool to see the Divine Pine Gathering. That one specifically, they do offer scholarships. So you can apply yourself or you can nominate somebody else. And that covers the weekend cost for the ticket and a campsite.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Cool.
how do we do a screen share? Maybe we can just pull it
Just
up.
go to present at the bottom, and then you'll be able to choose like a
prepared to
window or
Don't screen share. We got things. on
yeah,
our
like we
screen.
can't screen share.
you
I'm not
can.
confident
If you send me the link in the private chat on the far right, I can share whatever you're wanting to do. But you can also share just a tab, or just a window, or just a screen.
Okay.
There's options, but just pull up incognito mode, guys. And then everyone can yell at you for not following people on Instagram when you're trying to show them, even though you're not logged in.
Okay, so I do present
Yeah, at the bottom.
and then share screen.
Yeah, and then it's going to give you the option to which one.
Okay. Sorry.
She's like, okay.
Oh, can you see this?
Yeah, there you go.
So this is their Instagram. I don't know what I should look at.
July 26th.
See
to
the
28th.
screen
Look at that schedule.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, July 26th to 28th.
Grounds open at
It's
10.
an intense schedule. Like, it's intimidating to look at.
Natural plant
A lot
dye,
going on.
hula dance.
Oh, Chris Trump is going to be there. So they're going to talk about KNF. That is definitely something that I do remember from the itinerary. I don't know if I've seen it on there yet. What time?
Animal husbandry.
He was on the pictures that you showed before. I seen Chris on there. He's like 3 or 4 pictures down.
The future
Just
is
mark my
fungi,
calendar, so
Yeah, some fungi talk.
that's cool.
sound
There's a
healing.
lot to do.
Yeah, sound healing, biodynamics.
Here's Chris Trump. Natural farming, home gardens to hectares.
Home gardens to hectares. Danny Darling. There's yoga. Those are, never mind. That's a color key. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, there's yoga.
I'll take it off before you guys share something you don't want to.
It's doing their website.
That might be in a new tab because I can't see that.
Okay.
At the top, though, you can just share this tab instead.
Stop.
There you go.
Cool.
Collaborate and listen.
Did it.
Good job.
Russ gets it. I saw that look.
Yeah, we've also been doing other non-cannabis events. We've been doing farmers markets, local farmers markets. We're a local flavor community roots shirt from our last one.
What are you guys offering there?
We've done it twice, and both times we had like the last of our plant sale. So all of our tomatoes, peppers, herbs, flowers, all that stuff. And then we also are transitioning into what we'll have the rest of the season, because we're going to do like half of the whole summer, so every other week. And we're going to be taking microgreens regularly. And then we've got like my hair oil that I make. We got new labels that look flippin' sweet.
Love them. I love them. They're so cool.
And we can take like crafts that we make. So his pendants that he hand painted, we've took.
Handcrafted.
We also are going to do like wands that we're taking to Divine Pine Gathering, and we'll start taking that kind of stuff out of cannabis stocks to the farmers market. Just little, things that we make, and then vegetables and stuff when the time comes this summer.
Wait, do you have any of those wands?
I'll get one.
I make
This
lots of
jumps.
things.
This is not out of a cannabis stock. This was we found in the Appalachian Mountains. But
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, they do have stone on it. That's cool.
Off the Trail of Tears.
Mhm.
And then is that resin or epoxy?
This is, yeah. So he's been researching different ways to
Yeah,
seal
this
it.
one's coated. This one is coated with
It's
epoxy.
flippin' sweet.
That's super cool.
Still got all the bark.
You're covering the.
Yeah, he wrapped that. I know that was one you're proud of.
Very
And it was like you're not supposed
think
to
it's
take
got-
stuff from the thing.
This wasn't from where
But
you're
it's
talking
like
about.
it's like dead.
Allegedly unknowns. We don't know nothing. There's crystals embedded in it.
super cool.
So how many spells has that wand cast?
Ooh, hopefully many.
Put a spell on you.
I'm not sure. He's talking, but he's muted. Probably intentionally. Maybe one?
Yeah, I think it's an
Oh.
intentional move.
That's from you. There's some crazy lightning coming through our windows.
Oh, heat lightning probably?
No, it's storming here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is like a little tiny storm here.
Little cell.
Oh my gosh. Guys, we went last week to the drive-in to see Inside Out 2. And they had to stop it like 15 minutes in because of how bad the storm hit so quick.
Dang.
And they were like, okay, guys, we're going to just pause as long as we don't lose power. We'll keep going. We'll just, let the storm pass. And then like 5 minutes later, they came back on the radio and they're like, never mind, we're canceling it. You guys can get a refund and come back because this storm ain't passing.
What a
Dang.
bummer.
It was insane, the winds.
And the whole car was shaking. And I mean, we had people in the car and the car was shaking. It was
Like,
crazy.
we ain't going anywhere anyway. We gotta wait for this. We're not driving in this.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
It was an experience, though.
I
It was a
didn't see the
lot of
second one.
fun.
The first one's pretty good. That movie.
I'm excited to see
Yeah.
that movie too.
Me too.
You know, my daughter's like, Inside
She's got
Out
the
2
teaser.
came out, and I was like, yes, I'm just waiting. But also, House of Dragon dropped last night, so I'm excited about that too.
Anybody watch that yet?
I haven't, so don't tell me.
I haven't either. I didn't actually
Ready.
realize it
I'm
dropped
so
already.
ready for it too.
I don't think I ever made it through Game of Thrones even. So
I watched Game of
Game of
Thrones. And I
Thrones
read it.
like 4 or 5 times. Oh my goodness! And each time I forget about shit. So when I rewatch
Yeah.
it, I'm like, whoa, what's that?
All right, what's better though? Like okay, so both
Ooh.
The Sopranos and Game of Thrones have awful endings, from my understanding. I saw the Game of Thrones
Ooh,
one. I actually
yeah.
never watched the last episode of Sopranos, and I probably won't.
Both are
But I've watched the
terrible.
entire rest of the
No, The
series.
Sopranos
So-
was more awful ending than the Game of Thrones ending. 'Cause I was okay
Really?
with Game of Thrones. I was okay with Game of Thrones. I don't know why people are so upset.
Okay. Which series was better? And we got to throw like The Wire in there, maybe.
The
Maybe
Sopranos
Breaking
was
Bad.
better.
I haven't seen any of these
They're
series.
so.
my Lanta!
Not one of them.
I think they're opposite ends of the spectrum, like so different, like so fantasy,
sure.
and it's so
Yeah.
intricate, and all the little stories, like it's just never ending.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like Game of Thrones was very, very there's tons of people's names and shit you had to remember. But like House of Dragon, I feel like it flows a whole lot better and you're able to keep up and things are but then I don't know, The Wire, I didn't watch all The Wire. You brought that
Oh,
one up.
so good.
Yeah, I didn't watch I watched a little bit of it when it first came on, but I never followed up with it.
The Wire is so good because it's just so hyper realistic, especially for the time frame that it's in, with the payphones and all that, and it's just cell phones coming on and just everything, right?
That's great.
Sopranos was just an incredible show all around, but
Yeah, it was.
and honestly, Game of Thrones was too. But Game of Thrones, it took me like 3 or 4 times of watching the first episode to get past the first episode. And then once I did, it was just like I steamrolled. It was probably season 2 or 3 was already on at that point, so I steamrolled through it first.
So much to Game of Thrones. So it's
Yeah,
that's a lot.
it was, in my opinion, a pretty
Sopranos,
disappointing
you could
ending,
just
but-
latch on to that because it's like, everyday America for us kind of situation at some point. Somebody could latch on and be like, "Oh, okay,
Can identify with different
I
portions of
identify
it.
with that one."
Can't really identify with like
Or
being
not
up on the ice
identify
wall.
with people
You guys
from
have
LA.
Shaka Khan in my head now. Thanks for saying The Wire so many times, because you have me thinking of Through the Wire, which is a Kanye West song, but he sampled
Oh,
a
it's so
Shaka Khan
good, dude.
song, which is I don't know the name of the song, but through the fire, through the limit, to the wall.
I think she just did what's that on the NPL front on YouTube? I thought she just did like Tiny Dance or the Tiny
Tiny
Desk.
Desk. Yeah, dude, there's totally a Shaka
Yeah, I
Khan
think
song.
she did that.
Oh, she just came out. Yeah, that was very recent. A week
Yeah,
ago.
a couple weeks ago, I think. Recently, she's awesome.
Listen, the man is wild, but that song is incredible. I really like that song a lot.
If we're talking about TV shows though that are more modern, I mean, actually these are actually old now. But
Malcolm in the Middle. That's what he's gonna tell you guys.
Not Malcolm in the Middle. That's pretty decent though. But I liked An Idiot Abroad. I still watch those to this day.
Wait, what is
So
it?
fun. An Idiot Abroad.
Oh,
Idiot Abroad. I don't think I ever saw that.
Oh man, it's Ricky Gervais's buddy. They send him all over the world to do this different shit, and he's like,
Okay, I've heard of it.
he's so funny, but he does not mean he's not trying to be funny. He just is funny. It's
Okay.
funny as hell. And he's always got a bad attitude most of the time, which is even more funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there, Carl Pilkington. I think he's funnier than Ricky Gervais. He's funny as
he
shit.
is really funny. Know who's making the circuit right now that I've really appreciated, and then I didn't realize he's been around this long, which I maybe should have known based on probably a lot of different factors. But Harlan Williams, he's like making the circuits right now, and his humor is just one of those humors that's like like it's hard to compete with, you know, if you're like try to like roast each other, or just, you know, he's just like always in this mode where he's like side shifting and like stepping aside and like wrapping a humor back at you somehow. But and then of course watch it, you know, just a few podcasts with him in it, and I in my algorithm feed dumps on me the 1999 like TV appearance or something. And I was like, oh, dang, he has been around a minute. On, God, I don't even know what one of those late night shows.
All right, I just looked you up. I had to know who you were talking about because the name was not ringing a bell. Now
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
He's funny.
He's so silly.
Yeah, he's funny.
He's just got a ridiculous, like, it's not monotone voice, but it's just like one of those voices where it's like just recognizable, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody ever work at a tire shop, like Bell Tires, something like, you know, mechanic shop, anything like that? No.
I've been in lots of them.
Yeah, I never worked, but I've been in them a lot.
There's I guess it came out like maybe a month or so ago. It's called Tires. It's a new series on Netflix by Shane Gillis and like his crew, his like sketch comedy crew. It's really funny, and I watched it, and then like 2 days later, I had to go get my tires replaced. And so I'm sitting in the Bell Tire, just like, oh my god, it's all so true. It's like, I don't like. Eventually, I had to walk up to the guys. I'm like, have you guys seen Tires yet? They're like, what? And I'm like, the new Netflix like series. It's Shane Gillis. So like, yeah, I love Shane Gillis. I'm like, you haven't seen this though? It's like, this is like your guy's life, but like on a Netflix series in like the most comedic way possible.
Don't go to Bell Tire. Fuck them guys.
Yeah, it's Loom. I know.
I've been wanting to watch that, but I like just haven't taken the plunge yet. But if you say it's good, guess what?
You could crush it in 2 nights.
The one time,
algorithm.
the one time I don't change my own oil. The one time I take it to Bell Tire to get my oil change, and I got to go up. We're going up north the next day to go hunting, so it's November, right? So I get my oil change. I drive around getting hunting gear all fucking day, getting all my hunting license, going and get fucking new boots or whatever the shit I need to run errands. Fucking next day, I don't know, turn the heat on or something in my car the next morning, and it's fucking smoking, like it's really smoky in my car. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I open my hood, there's oil all over the fucking thing, dude. So I go back up to Bell Tire. They left the oil cap off and just completely, fucked up my car. They actually ended up writing me a check for like $100 or something to get my engine cleaned off and sprayed off, or what. I just power washed it myself. But they really, most of the oil ended up cooking on their fucking thing. It never really got privately cleaned. But
that's not really funny.
No, it's not so funny. But then I go back to Bell Tire. I don't know, to get it done again. And like, for whatever reason, I'm like, look, this happened last time. Please make sure that you guys put the oil cap back on, because you guys ended up having to pay me like over $100 to get my car cleaned and shit. And they were like, okay, yeah. I pick up my car and I check it out and there's no oil cap on it again. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? The oil cap's sitting like, on the battery right there. I'm like, Jesus, dude.
It has to be because you asked.
Whatever the reason is, I went back in there and I'm like, I don't know if I made them go put the oil cap back on or what the fuck I ended up doing, but I was in the parking lot. And
I bet you did. I as much as I love Costco, I took my car in to get a tire change there one time, and before they could even change the tires, they snapped the mirror off of my driver's side door by backing it out too close to the garage. Just like, Moscow Pot was literally standing there, just watched it happen. I was like, what?
When Becca and I opened the New Standard store over in Ann Arbor, there's like Main Street Auto right across the street, and we like shared a parking lot. So they kind of got fucked because they were renting parking space from the business across the street. The New Standard ended up taking ownership over, and all of us employees all parked over there and took up half their fucking parking lot. These guys fucking drove cars around that parking lot like mad. I mean, this one dude smashed into like 3 fucking cars trying to move a little convertible. I watched him hit 3 fucking cars moving. I watched him hit cars all the time in that parking lot, dude. He hit the garage door. He was hitting walls. He'd back up and fuck up the door. I was like, why are you backing up with the door open? This guy fucked up. So I literally watched this guy hit like on multiple occasions, multiple days. I hate taking my car to the shop. I almost refuse taking my car to the shop.
I even have a problem with valet now, because I watched one day valet pull up my car at a hotel and run it into the back of my friend's car. So not only was my car damaged, but my buddy's was too.
See, both Becca and I, all of our cars are manual transmissions, and
yeah.
I don't trust anybody with my clutch at all. I trust Becca with my clutch. I trust my dad with my clutch. Those are like the only people I trust.
I love it.
Clutch.
I love it.
You're lucky I drive a stick shift.
Very lucky you drive a stick shift. You're absolutely right.
I think there's a reason he kept you around, Becca. It might have been the stick shift.
That's you driving a stick shift. I don't know how to drive a stick shift as old as I am.
It's because my mom did, and it just kind of got passed down. It was like the only car I had an option to drive.
Gen Z theft deterrent. That's what that is.
And I love it now. Like I drive in regular gear.
I learned how to drive a stick shift because I wanted to learn how to ride a motorcycle, and I had to understand gear shifting. And then I got into a car and tried it, but I've never owned one.
A lot easier on a motorcycle.
Yeah,
I can do like the motorcycle or a 4-wheeler. I can do that, but I've never tried a car.
It's the same concept. You're just you're using different functioning.
Yeah, the knobs go in different ways.
Yeah.
And I guess so
well, the clutch on your hand, right? The clutch on a car is on your foot. I guess that'd be the main difference.
Yeah, that's
right.
Shifters on your foot on a motorcycle. Do you
guys find yourself being 2-foot drivers if you're not if you're in an automatic transmission car?
No, but I have accidentally slammed on the brakes.
Oh God!
Like shooting for the clutch.
Yeah.
Slam on the clutch and like.
I'm
just gonna speed this up.
I'll like specifically put my left leg like far away. Like I'll put it against the car door just so I don't accidentally do that, because I don't even
got like magnets in your shoe
much when I'm driving the manual. Like it just kind of happens, and so if I'm not really paying attention, I'm afraid that I would.
I'll like sit on my leg like this.
Oh,
sit Indian style. Nope, you're not gonna press the brakes today.
It's fun though. Teaching people kind of sucks. I taught a couple people and that was rough.
Yeah, one of my best friends taught me in a parking lot, and I know that was a fun experience for him, seeing me grind out his car.
It's hard to explain it, without like showing you your feet. And so I had somebody like watch some YouTube.
I was gonna say watch a YouTube video first, and then take them in the car, or like make them watch that before they turn the car ignition on.
And it helped. It did help.
Yeah, visual. I mean, we're visual learners for a lot of us. So.
I think the hardest part is turning all 4 steps into one fluid motion. I think that's the thing, because
it's a muscle memory thing. I think
one fluid.
20 years from now, just driving alone will be looked at like fucking manual driving now. To be like, driving? What are you talking about? Just get in the car, it drives you there.
Crazy.
It's going to be whole generations of people not even learning how to drive.
Now, before we get off manual, though, is there any real benefit to manual nowadays, considering like how just great automatic transmissions are? They just seem to be.
They can be cheaper, maybe. They can be a little bit cheaper.
I think
you probably do pay more for automatic.
Well, yeah, because the automatic transmission is still going to do what it wants. I can still like stay in a high gear if I want to stay in.
But not all, but most automatic transmission cars at a certain level come with the option to have the manual mode. It's just a digital gear shifter.
It's so much different, though. That's just
100% it is. But
I got those toggles on my.
I mean, yeah, dude. Like, I mean, even Corvettes don't come in manual mode for the most part now. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these race car, or not race cars, muscle cars, whatever you want to call them. They're like, they just have the digital shifters or whatever. Paddles. I don't even know what they're called now.
It's different in the fact that it'll like automatically shift down for you. I've had them like.
What does it do? The clutch part for you?
Like it's just
a button, like on the shifter, up and down, up and down, up and down.
It's electronic shifter.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I think it would be. That sounds confusing to me, but maybe
it's literally 2 paddles on your steering wheel. Underneath the steering wheel, one is shift down, one is shift up. It's like a video game.
Those are on the probably more expensive, like the faster cars, but on even just like trucks and stuff, they have them like on the shifter, like
Oh yeah, I've seen that too.
It's just it'll say M and then up and down. I mean, it's something as simple as that.
Like
but yeah,
plus minus.
Yeah, if you're in a car with the paddle shifter,
automatic cars,
you might have 6 gears in that puppy.
Automatic cars forever have always had a drive, a 1 gear, a 2 gear, and a 3 gear. Like our fucking old Caprice back in the day, our Tempo, every car that I've ever driven that was old automatic. I never drove those cars. I was too young to drive, but I remember sitting in the cockpit of those things, and all those old cars from the 80s had, in the early 90s.
Oh, dude, I had a 2001. I had a 2001 SUV that had that, and I would just for funsies use it every once in a while I was accelerating out of an intersection.
Like, they were for low traction, needing to like get out of snow or go up a hill, go down a hill, dirt roads, just random shit like that. They're for traction control, but. And I think that's the same with the paddle shifters nowadays. It's kind of the same deal. Is like it's there for if you need to stay in a gear and tell your automatic transmission to fuck off. You know what I mean? Because what it'll do is I don't know. Like there's things that the automatic transmission just I don't think is and maybe I'm just not too keen on new technology, but I feel like it shifts at times when I don't want it to shift. And I want to stay in a low gear because
I think everything's got so much software integrated into it now.
You accelerate on your low end, and I don't know. Like if I'm already going 50 or 60 and I'm topped out of my gears and I push the acceleration button on an automatic, it's like it's a hard thump, man. It feels like your transmission is going to drop out the bottom of your car. Whereas in a manual, you drop down into a low gear and you nice smoothly flutter that clutch and that gas pedal, and you don't feel like that transmission is going to thump out the bottom of your car. I still think gas mileage. I still think you can get better gas mileage in a manual.
I don't think that's true anymore. I actually don't think that's true. I think that's one of those things where it's like that's why they're just not making them. I
don't get good gas mileage on mine.
Well, I think it's true if like situation. If you're not doing a lot of highway miles and you're doing a lot of like city driving or where you're stopping and going and moving, you know, have a lot of change of gears, I think you're gonna save gas money 100%. If you're doing a lot of highway driving miles, you're probably not gonna save a lot.
In an automatic will stay in third gear going 25 miles an hour, and I'll be running 2,000 RPMs. It's the RPMs that consume fuel, right? It's your RPMs. It's not your speed necessarily. It's your RPMs. So when I'm running 25 miles an hour in sixth gear in my truck, I'm going like 900 RPM. I'm going idle. I used to do that in my Focus. I would be idling and going 25, 30 miles an hour at idle. Pretty like maybe a couple hundred RPMs higher than idle because you're pushing it. I'm in fifth gear going 25 miles an hour, fluttering 1,000 RPMs. Like an automatic, I've met 2,500 RPMs. It stays in third gear because it's 25 miles an hour. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on in newer vehicles because I haven't owned I've never owned an automatic transmission.
Well, here you go. According to Edmunds,
1999 automatic transmission. That's
according to Edmunds. Here's a few myths. Manual transmissions always get better fuel economy than cars with automatic gearboxes. That's not true. I feel like I just parroted this article at a certain point through this conversation, but this is just one example, but showing where a 6-speed manual gets 5 miles per gallon less than the same automatic engine. Manual cars cost less than the same model with automatic. Apparently that's not necessarily true all the time either. Cool sports cars only come with manual gearbox. Like I said, that seems to be changing too. Teenagers really that's definitely a myth. That is definitely
my Focus was $600 cheaper for getting a manual transmission.
Yeah, I remember seeing that, man. I remember seeing that, like when you get an automatic transmission, it was like, whatever. It's like you said, $600, $1,800, like whatever it was going to be, more as an option. But I don't think it's like even really an option anymore. Probably it's just built into the cost. But
I really think it has to do with how you drive them, though, man. I mean, how's that? Who did the testing on that article and who was driving the cars? Is my question. It was
right. There's
a Dynamat being ran off a computer. Was it?
I mean, it's Edmunds, so I would
give them. The market's going to control it, right? So if there's a demand for it, people keep buying it. There'll be people keep making it. But as you can see, what sells right now, the demand is very low. So. But there's still enough demand to be around.
I think that Bronco is probably one of the last trucks that'll have a manual transmission. I don't know if they'll even continue putting them in the Bronco in the future. I mean, it's a good option with it right now. It's kind of necessary for.
I don't know if there's going to be manual driving in the future, let alone manual transmissions.
Yeah, it'll all be automated. Man,
just another way to take away our freedoms.
Goddamn government!
They would have to. Everybody would have to convert their cars to that type of technology. That'd be crazy. Or get new cars. They'd have to subsidize people.
I was going to say that if they switched all the new cars over to automatic driving, they could just wait for people.
You know how many people are driving around beaters from 1979 still?
That's right. That's okay. They'll just tax those guys more when they register. Right. They'll just push them out.
That's true too.
Yeah, that's true.
All of a sudden, your registration is the cost of the car.
Well, the registration on my '99 Grand Am is like $200, almost $300 already. It's freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, new cars aren't any better though. You know what I mean?
Like this GT, it's not. I think it's maybe a 6-cylinder. It's not a sports car. It's a 4-door.
It says bring back stage coaches.
I got that from my grandma. That's the only reason I got that was an automatic with my grandma's car.
Hey,
the reason that thing's sitting around is because it only has 60,000 miles on it.
Noob girls, spend some time in the Thumb or south of where Russ is,
yeah,
and you're gonna see a lot of stagecoaches. Those Amish love them, man.
Dude,
one got stolen in Michigan. One got stolen in Michigan. They thought they could just leave their stagecoach all up in the Walmart parking lot and just be safe. And they got stolen.
Not here.
You don't just leave those stagecoaches just hang out in Michigan.
Hacking.
Yeah, man. It was big news.
I do remember that. That's funny. You're gonna start getting black boxes on stagecoaches
I
now
keep
too.
juggling
Jeez.
back.
Yeah.
We move
I gotta
out.
get a fucking
We move out
air tag on my stagecoach now.
to go to town on. I'm like, I'll get a horse and buggy to go to town. Let's do it.
It's just the view, man. It's just the view you got to get used to, right? Just looking at that ass all, that horse's ass all the way there.
Yeah,
Yeah, you just raise it up a little bit, man. You know, you don't gotta look right directly into the
Heat rises, man. So
Yeah,
that horse, you know,
yeah,
that's one rip. It's right in your face. Then you don't want to be above it. You want to be
All right,
under
so we're
that
gonna
shit.
design a buggy that's gets pushed by the horses. Is that what we're doing? I think I'll just build a drone before I get there. Let's be honest.
There's generally really good reasons why we progress past things.
That's what I'm looking
It's
forward
generally
to.
on a better trajectory. It's usually because it's better for us in some way.
I mean, what's nice about a horse is, yeah, I mean, it might break a leg, but
Or yours.
it's not. It's I don't know. It's a lot easier to source parts.
Just a new
Horse
horse.
parts.
New horse.
Got a whole stable of them.
Woo, that would
Can't
be
take any
expensive.
parts
But
out of the other ones.
honestly,
You
it's
just
not that
replace
much.
the whole
It's
book.
not. I don't know. Is a horse more expensive than a car? I think it kind of is.
Probably.
I'm sure they're
I bet that it's equally like in range.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never thought about it.
Horses. There's probably some.
What you figure in gas,
horses.
registration, and your license, all the bullshit you have to get because of your vehicle. It might be pretty close to the cost of a horse.
You get that $250 pony that's like, 16, 18 years old. It's all scraggly looking. It kicks.
And a carriage.
$3,500 to $11,000 a year. I think I'm sticking with a card, guys.
You're right. Cars way
They're
cheaper.
probably including boarding. What if you got your own barn? Boarding a horse.
All right, now say what on average does the average American pay
And if you
car
got
payments
you go
for a year? I think it might be over. Do you think it's not over 11,000?
Average.
It's over
annual
3,000 though, for
cost.
sure.
Yeah, how much you spend on gas? How much you spend on repairing those
Yeah,
tires?
gas,
Or your lease payments,
That
your
tire
loan
that fucks up
payments.
your oil and your engine
insurance.
craps out
That's
3 years later.
Bell Tire pays you $100 for that, man.
You got a fucking
But I just heard a story about.
It's actually pretty close. So it was, what was it, $300 to $850 or $350 to $800, something like that, for a horse if you break it down per month. And
Yeah.
the average monthly payment on a new car is $735. But I know we're talking like big time rates right now, and I'm sure if you compared that to 4 years ago, it'd be, I don't know, probably like less than half that. But yeah, $12,000.
Crazy.
We put $50 of gas in our truck every 2 or 3 days. So what's that broken down in an annual cost? What's
That's
let's just say
$5,200 a month.
say 200.
It's not nice. I know that.
Yeah,
it's not a nice
It's between $5,000 and $6,000 a year.
Let's
in
say
gas.
$100 a week. What's 100? That's
$5,200.
400 a month.
$5,200 a year. 52 weeks in a year.
$5,200 a year, man.
Plus the car payment.
Yeah, and like Jasminian's saying, I just spent, I don't even want to tell you how much on tires, you know what I mean? And then, guess what?
$800?
Brakes and rotors too.
Double
We'll change.
Registration, but I guess you'd.
I've been there.
I don't think you have to register your horse. I don't think you have to register your buggy either, do you? That's just.
Actually, that's a good question. I don't know. I know that you have to register.
That might be a reason.
Golf
That might be a reason Amish still use those things, is because you don't have to register them.
Yeah, I don't think you have to register those. Maybe they consider them like a trailer, and they only got to register it once, and they get a lifetime plate.
Yeah, I'm trying to
I
remember.
have seen them with plates.
I feel like
I've seen them with plates on them before.
Really? Because I'm just thinking the reflectors. I don't remember plates.
No, I've seen them before with like little plates. I don't know if they were just a hobby thing, but I've seen them.
Like a motorcycle plate or something like that.
Yeah, like a small little like a plate, but it looked like a legit plate.
Maybe you need like a ORV tag or some shit like that.
Right? Just a little ORV sticker.
Off-road vehicle. Yeah, a horse is an off-road vehicle. It's the original, man.
The OG off-road vehicle.
OG off-road vehicle. Mountain climber.
Oh, this
These
article's
are
showing
plated and licensed.
So Michigan County pushes state for buggy licensing.
Shout out to chat. They're backing me up.
Oh, M Live News won't let me look at their site because I have an ad blocker. That's cool.
Oh, you want to see their stuff for free? You got to block their ads too. Then you don't get no information. Sorry.
It's all right.
It's only paid information only for M Live News.
I'll just get their Instagram feed, I guess.
I honestly, I mean, I go to M Live to see the stories, but I fucking hate them so bad.
Yeah,
There's putting the MCMA mouthpieces on there and their opinions. They don't ever present the other side.
MCMA mouthpiece?
Yeah, they always put it like they would have old fucking Steve Linder in there now, who's under investigation. But yeah, let's keep getting this guy's opinion on things.
Isn't the MCMA mouthpiece one of those sex toys that starts with a D and ends with an O?
A didgeridoo?
Yeah, didgeridoo.
Didgeridoo.
Shaped like a didgeridoo. That's
Nailed it.
Makes that same sound too.
Didgeridoo.
It makes them open their
Oh
mouth.
no, that's just a vibrator. Never mind.
Okay, I gotta
The
stop.
didgeridoo. Where'd he go? What was that? Because that's my mic drop. I want a mic drop on vibrator and then go off screen. Make a big impact.
It's just the timing.
Let him get his didgeridoo. The MCMA mouthpiece. I like that. That's what I'm gonna call that from now on.
Yeah, man. I like that.
Anyway, Spartan, sorry I tangented you. Please continue. What you were
Good luck getting my mind on whatever the hell it was we were talking about before that.
about that. Threw you off.
Yeah, no, you had me full in on the MCMA. Yeah, I was all in on that.
Denial and Error says no plates on Amish buggies in Ohio.
Oh, yeah, that's what we were talking about was plates on buggies.
It's
yeah, you do have to put
a regional.
So I think that's for motorcycles. I think it's if it's 49 cc's or lower, you don't need any bullshit. But if it's 50 cc's and up, you do. So you'll see a lot of people get like 49 cc engines or tuned down engines, so they don't have to get any special motorcycle license or any bullshit. Like a kid could get on a Vespa,
like a moped. Mopeds, I think you don't need a motorcycle. Is that still?
Right.
That was a thing when I was a kid. You didn't need a motorcycle.
Well, there's a lot of e-bikes now too. So I don't know how they determine e-bike because they don't have any CCs. There's no CCs.
They go
no
fast
CCs.
Fuck. They go like 50 miles an hour too.
I see them go. Some of them go real fucking fast. Even those just one wheel joints, those things go pretty goddamn fast.
Like what is a scooter that's you don't have to register? Those things go like 35, 40 miles an hour or something.
I was gonna say I think you can do easily 25 and probably upper 35 on some of them. Maybe 45.
An electric Vespa would be pretty fucking cool.
A little electric like Tonka truck, but roadworthy would be fucking dope. It's just a single person, but it looks like a big Tonka.
You talking about like a dump truck, like with like a
with the little toddlers driving, with the little battery powered shit that your little toddler drives around in.
And let's drive our fucking Tonka trucks down the fucking. Can I drive?
Like Emily, like we could get her the little Barbie Corvette, and then I could get like the little Jeep.
I want the Barbie Safari Jeep.
Yeah, and we could do like 49 cc's and just fucking jet.
I feel like I'm in a cartoon. Damn it! What is going on? I'm like, yeah, I'm in. Let's wear hard hats and fucking go.
Fuck yeah, hard hats. I don't even think about it.
I feel like Bob the Builder in this shit. Let's do it.
Hey man, I think we can do it.
And we don't need a license.
Yes, we can.
Right? You don't. This is all.
We're at 49 cc's, man. Stay under that 50 cc's and we're good.
There we go. That should be the name. How to battle bureaucracy. There we go.
Yeah.
We'll teach you how to grow chickens in a HOA. Well, give eggs to your neighbors. Don't let them complain. That's how you do that.
Golf carts too. That's a good point. Who brought that up in chat? I just saw it. Eric in chat says this new golf cart goes 28 miles an hour. Jesus. That's all electric right there, I'd imagine.
What was my dad was saying something about electric golf carts. Something about being like fucking heavy. No, I can't remember what the fuck he was talking. The batteries for them are
They
super
gotta be real heavy.
I think they take a ton of fucking batteries and they're really expensive.
Yeah, man.
Like that.
They should put solar panels. Let's invent it right now. Let's put solar panels in the canopies of the golf carts that are electric to charge the batteries while they're just chilling out there at the golf course.
And that wouldn't be a bad idea. You also need to get more longevity out of the batteries. You leave those fuckers in your garage in the wintertime, dude. All those batteries are going to freeze out. You got to fucking store them. You got to store all that shit. That's the pain.
Yeah, that's why you switch it over to winter mode, and it switch it over to winter mode.
Trickle charge.
Trickle charges.
It trickle charges off that solar panel, man.
There you go.
Then you just tarp the rest of it up.
Yeah, there you go. That's kind of cool. So you got to like put a little solar panel outside if you keep it inside, or you got to like keep it outside.
Just install it in the canopy, man.
That's kind of cool.
Oh, make it
Circle
like
charge.
install it like in pockets so that you can pull them out and you can put the solar panels wherever you want. So say you got it in the garage, you got to fucking just
I still
put
like
the solar panels out.
combustion engine. Let's just try to figure out how to keep the carbon exchange low on a combustion engine. I think that there's equal like I think there's equal I don't know. You really have to like you have to do like a serious analysis, right, on supply chain, carbon footprint of all that bullshit, right, to really see what's what. But you could almost like with what's available today, I mean, you could redesign current combustion engines that already exist and get them to run on
Hydrogen.
waste hydrogen. That's a clean burning thing. What about Tesla? What about like not Tesla motors?
Not Elon Musk Tesla.
Not Elon Musk Tesla. What about Tesla? Nikola Tesla's concepts of harnessing energy out of the atmosphere, right? What about a Tesla coil, right? What about something like that could?
But that's not safe, right? Because then the public would have access to free energy and charge for it.
And so the bureaucracy would no longer be needed.
Yeah, we can't. What are you talking about, man? Out of your mind.
Regulation, you get around registration fees. Fuck. You got to pay these registration fees for
we just got a
thing
tax
with weed, guys.
We got Tesla coil tax because
Got
you
a lot
benefit because you live near the Tesla coil and we can't measure how much you're taking from it. But we're gonna tax you for it.
Dude, can I just say that I've been on cloud 9 because Joe Rogan has had all of these guests on that make his show lately seem like old ass Joe Rogan getting all into like weird shit because they've been getting into like the ancient energy harnessing and shit like that. He's had Terrence Howard, he's had Cat Williams, he's had fucking Billy Carson and all these other guys on that are just like into all those old like pyramids were generators, all of that shit.
Power generators, yeah.
Generators, yeah.
Those are fire, Tara. Is that the jalapeno one? No? Which one is it? Sorry to make you talk while you're eating.
No, go ahead. I'm interested in
style beef stick.
Beef stick.
Yeah, it's the Italian. I haven't tried this one yet.
Oh, the Italian one. Oh, snap. I don't think I've tried that either.
That's
Tastes like pepperoni. Or
No.
more like Italian spices.
No, it's definitely not like it's not that spice. It's not spiced like that. It's definitely just mild.
Okay.
It's good.
They're I'm obviously whatever. It's Chomps is the brand name, but they have like a regular one. They've got like I don't know, a few different ones. They've got like turkey and beef and all this. But yeah, the jalapeno one is actually pretty freaking fire.
I saw somebody have it over the festival weekend. I'm not sure who had these, but I was like, I saw it at the store. I was like, oh, I'll give it a try.
Yeah, I think I don't know anything about the sourcing of the beef or whatever, but it's they're pretty tasty.
I like it.
They sell them at Costco.
Definitely way better than the split meal.
Yeah. I mean, that's I don't even know how to describe that.
Definitely real meat. So this is way better.
Yeah, maybe that's just the difference. Just
I shouldn't say Slim Jim's not real meat. I don't know, but it's tasty.
less additives.
Probably.
There you go. Get you a sponsorship. Tara says this is the real meat.
Tara Chomps.
Rat's bed. Definitely yummy.
Well, we're only 50 minutes away from the end of the show. How you guys feel about snacks?
Fucking snacks. We just ate some M&Ms.
Just regular M&Ms?
They're peanut M&Ms.
Oh, okay, that's acceptable.
That we kept in the refrigerator all day.
Oh, all right.
Which
Not
was
melting in your hand or anyone's hand, for that matter.
No, very nice and cool and yummy in the mouth. Thank you very much.
Hey, do you guys prefer regular cake or ice cream cake?
Ice cream cake.
I don't eat
of course.
cake. Cake is gross.
Ice cream cake, of course, because that's not even cake.
I don't even eat cupcakes, man.
You eat
How
ice cream,
gross.
right?
Yeah.
I'm particular about cake, man. I'm with you. Anything I'm with you. Anything grows. Well, nowadays I have to turn down like almost all sweets and sugars. But the cake deal, man. So that frosting that's like not. That's what is it? It's just like sugar.
You can't take the worst representation of a cake and say I don't like that. Of course, nobody likes that shit, man.
What is that? Is that just sugar frosting? It doesn't even taste like sugar. It tastes like straw.
Isn't that what frosting is? It's just sugar?
It's
I'm
just
pretty sure
sugar.
it's just leftover crayons mashed into some sort of cold substance.
Kool-Aid. It's sugar and Kool-Aid for coloring.
So first of all, it has to have like Cool Whip, or like what is it like whipped cream cheese? Is it like heavy cream topping, right? And the cake's got to be man. I think the cake's got to have some ice cream in there or something. Yeah, the fudge, dark chocolates, heavy chocolates, a mousse, like a mousse, like
A mousse adjacent.
Moose adjacent.
Elk
cake.
An elk.
Yeah. Fondue.
Elk are obnoxious. I can see why people shoot them. I just want to say, elk are pretty obnoxious. How loud they can be. Jesus.
So you're just gonna shoot anything that's loud, Spartan? Jeez.
Yes, I will.
We had a mule deer walk up on our campsite.
Everyone out there is listening. Yes.
We had a mule deer walk up on our campsite. Those fuckers are in the family, aren't they?
Dude, where were we with those elk? Was that at Camp Compost?
Yes.
They get up like a damn rooster every damn morning.
Oh,
look at those grapes, though. That's yummy.
There we go.
Organic
grapes, guys.
Organic.
Yeah, they get up and they just start hollering first thing in the morning and then shut the fuck up. So yeah.
Are they doing like their mating calls, like that really loud?
Oh, do this
like elk horn or whatever they call
the
it?
long drawn out, yeah.
Cool. We should play that just for people that don't know what that sounds like.
So fucking it's not what you want to hear in the morning.
Isn't it like a donkey kind of a hink?
Yeah, it's a lot like that's exactly. It's a lot like a donkey. I bet you they're related.
You'd call it a donkey?
Yeah, it's kind of got
a lot like a donkey because it ends like that.
Like ends with like
it's like at the end, yeah.
All right, let's make sure you guys can hear this. If you can't, let me know.
Inward.
Just make sure you can hear it. Yeah, that shit all morning. It's like you should be shot if you're screaming like that. If you scream like you're shot, might as well get shot.
That was majestic. But was that actually making the noise? It looked like it was like B-roll over.
No, I think it was because you could hear the echo. You know what I mean? Like out in that field, like bouncing off from miles away.
Yeah, imagine being one field over and trying to sleep. Like, yeah. See, they did not endear themselves to their first impression with me at all.
Well, they taste delicious. That's the second impression.
I am down to eat them. I'm totally down. They deserve to be eaten.
What else deserves to be eaten?
M&Ms, man. Peanut M&Ms.
I've actually got a real question for you, chicken owning folk. Is there a chicken that you can have just in the summertime that'll get big enough, like produce egg throughout the summer, and then come like fall, winter, it's big enough you can harvest it and preserve it for meat?
They're usually two separate birds.
That's what I
Yeah,
thought.
usually
Yeah.
they keep like all summer before they start producing eggs.
Right.
Okay.
And I mean, there are meat birds that honestly can be ready to go in like 60 days from putting them out on the grass. They need another maybe 30 days to brood. So you're talking 90 days and you can have something to eat, and you can do that a couple times in a season, similar to many turnover type. I don't want to call chickens a crop, so I don't know, but like other forms of food that you could do, like, you know, you can do that with certain vegetables. You can do that with fish. You can do that with tilapia. Has a spawn to a fried to mature date in about 60 days as well. And not just tilapia, but other like fish that you can grow. So I mean, yeah, there's a handful of proteins that you can actually farm. You can have at a full size, and like that's Cornish cross is a specific breed. Unfortunately, Cornish cross has been bred though to be a short life plump chicken, so they're not good pets. A Cornish cross won't really survive beyond a year, 2 years, 3 years. They get fat, they over bloat with, you know, issues and things like that because of the way that they've been bred.
They look like Americans.
Americanas are another one.
No, Americans, like actual Americans.
Oh yeah.
It's just over fat.
Very similar to how we're being cultured.
I like that. No, well, that's the thing. It's really about breeds, right? Red, like, so most of the breeds you're going to come across are bred for a specific thing, and it's usually either egg production or meat production, you know. And so to have both is kind of like want to have your cake and eat it too, to some extent. And it doesn't mean you can't do it. It just doesn't mean.
Damn it! I shouldn't have shit talked cake earlier.
Well, let's say,
is it ice cream cake? Because you can only have that for so long before you got to put it back in the freezer.
I'm not prepared to have chickens like how you and Becca have chickens like that you've had for seasons now, you know, for a couple of 2 years or so. Like, I'm not prepared for that. But I wanted to have eggs and stuff as well. So if I was hoping I could like get eggs throughout the summer and then learn how to like butcher my own chickens and harvest them, deep freeze them for throughout the winter, so I don't have to like have a shed to store them and stuff to keep them warm.
You could probably, keep them warm.
This is more of a situation where you need to barter with someone that already has chickens. And
yeah, you
because your investment would be so much more than it would be worth to actually do this. Most chickens that are, you know, bred for egg laying production take, like Red said, 4 to 6 months or so to start producing eggs, right? And then then what? You want to get maybe 4 to 6 months of eggs out of that, so you're already a year in, and then you could theoretically harvest these birds for meat. You know what I mean? It's not like they don't have any meat on their bones, but it's not going to be like you are used to. You know,
you get eggs from the Cornish cross, like you'll get some egg. They're just not egg produced. You're not going to get an egg a day. They're not
right. It might be 50, 60 a year instead of 280 or something, you know.
Becca had the answer.
Gotcha.
Becca, what's the answer?
There are like dual purpose breeds, so they do exist. I think I looked it up. Plymouth Rocks and Wyandottes, like they get big enough, but it's not as fast as you want the meat. So it's gonna take like a full season.
We have 2 Wyandottes right now. Our new batch, and they are so big compared to the rest of even the Rhode Island Reds.
But what if you dispatched and harvested in November, right around the time where you need to enclose it? I think that you'd get seasonally. So we got chicks in March. Okay, so let's just put this in perspective. Chicks in March. Our chicks still do not have their little fucking red, whatever that thing is, a wattle.
We can never remember.
Cone. They don't have that. They're certainly not mature enough to lay eggs. When do you think, Becca, they'll start laying eggs?
Our rooster just started mounting the other ones, the little bantams. So I think it's going to be soon, like in the next 2 months, probably 45 days or so.
Do you think? I'm thinking August. I'm thinking like when our cannabis begins to flower is like when the chickens will lay the eggs. I'm thinking it's like,
going to depend on the breed, but yeah, you probably pretty close, honestly.
it's
It might be
weird
early.
how it's weird how animals and plants are not like okay, the physiological characteristics of animals and plants are pretty different, but the ebbs and flow of the life of the how the seasonality the seasonality of them is very similar the way that they go. I've noticed that through farming. It's pretty interesting how similar. I think that human selection with all of these things have kind of created it this way, right? We've kind of narrowed things into this like 2 month, 60-day timeline, which is pretty straight. Like cannabis flowers in 60 days. Like there's a lot of, and maybe it has to do with the solstice, the equinox, window, something like that. Equinox then to the solstice window, or solstice to solstice window, whatever it is. Maybe it's moon cycles. Maybe I just think too much about this shit and it's really whatever. But either way, the chickens, I mean, you might get eggs in August, so you'd start getting some eggs. But so like let's say you adopted chicken. We adopted chickens. So when we first got our chickens, we got them in like October, so we did have a winter. But let's say we got them in March and they were the same age, they were already producing. I wouldn't say eat a chicken that is like 4 or 5 years old. Probably the meat might be tough, but you know what? Desperation, food is. There's nothing bad with the meat. It's just going to be a tougher, probably fattier meat. That being said, if you get a younger chicken and you have it for the season, and then you can learn to harvest it yourself, and that could be an option too.
When I worked on the chicken farm, what they had, there was a farm of a lot of things with the chickens. The meat chickens specifically didn't live longer than about 6 months.
Yeah, they generally don't, and they that's a long time. Yeah, they generally will like die of complications. Just if you don't kill them, like that's the thing about those kind of breeds is it's like they require to be
harvested.
They require. Yeah. And here's the thing though about the animals and selection: it's cows, it's pigs, it's a lot of animals. Like there's cows that like won't live past like the age of a cow is like 30, 40, 50, 80 years, whatever long a cow will fucking live. You know what I mean? And like there's a lot of breeds of cows.
No,
I don't think it's 80, but it's up there, dude. Cows, the like natural life age of a forest cow, not a fucking farm cow, is up there. It's
they don't have a lot of predators. He's not usually.
A dog is like almost 40 years. You know what I mean? Like healthy fucking dogs. Like there's dogs that have lived to be almost 40 years.
Average lifespan of wild cows ranges from 10 to 20 years. Some species, such as American bison, have known to live up to 30 years. Obviously, bison are the hardy ones and have been around for a long, long time.
Yeah. But I mean, take it back even further. I bet that they're just, that's just recorded history. You know what I mean? That's during. I mean, fuck. How many millions of bison did we destroy?
All of them. I mean, pretty much all of them, bro.
So I mean, like the way that like information's cataloged over history is strange.
Yeah, but here about the dogs though, gray wolves only live about 6 to 8 years in the wild, and they double that in captivity. But yeah, it's a rough life out there.
Well, that's the thing. Wild is rough, but if you can narrow down your health, right, your longevity, a cow that is a chicken that's healthy can live like 20 years.
But that's only gonna happen through captivity and someone providing for it, because in the wild that's not gonna exist.
No, it won't happen in the wild.
Not unless it's like some sort of oasis situation where they're probably not native to it.
That's a lifespan. That's similar with humans. You know what I mean? Humans,
definitely.
Same thing. You have to be nurtured properly in order for that to happen too.
What was the lifespan, 1,000 years ago for humans? It was probably decades shorter than it is now. But similar thing with
think,
having pets. It's like, yeah, we can provide for them, so we're gonna have these dogs that last a while.
I think generally speaking, our lifespans have always kind of increased as we've progressed, but I think for the first time in a long time in history,
That's what I was gonna
we
say.
did.
I think until
Did
recently, there might have been
Yeah.
some sort of catastrophic event that might have contributed to that, but I don't know. I don't know if that
Might
has
have a lot
anything
to
to
do
do
with
with
it. But if that's the case, we wiped out the weak ones, and so we're gonna go back up.
Listen, it is a survival of the fittest type situation here we're talking about. Call that natural
We're on the right
selection.
end of it. We're on the right end of it, man. We're on the right end of it.
Yeah. Well, there's.
I'm excited to hang around.
Excited to what?
I said I'm excited to hang around and see what happens.
Until it gets too crazy. Like, would you want to be one of those, like, a lot of people fantasize about like being preppers or whatever, like Armageddon type situations, and maybe building bunkers or have a storage, the Y2K back in the day, everyone was buying water and soup cans or something. I don't know. But nowadays, realistically, especially having gone through a modern day pandemic, do you feel like there would ever be a scenario in which that would be realistic, or is like, or do you maybe just not even want to be around if it got that bad? You're just like, it's really getting that crazy. I'll just, what's the point? Some people really want to.
I don't know. I would have to have overwhelming evidence that it would get bad like that, like to be a prepper. I have to have overwhelming evidence to convince me.
Wouldn't it be too late then?
In what way?
Isn't that what a prepper is? Someone that's like preparing for something like before it even,
No, I think it's just somebody preparing for a fucking bad time. Say that a prepper. I don't know.
Maybe there's different levels.
Yeah, for sure. But
I don't got a bunker, but like
I think you're thinking everybody's competitive. I don't know if I've said it before on this show, but I've said it before on a show, I'm sure. But everybody thinks it's going to be competitive in a dog eat dog world, and everybody's going to be against everybody. And it's not my experience, man. It's not my experience in life. When shit hits the fan, people tend to help each other out and be fucking human beings, and fucking neighbors are helping neighbors. I witnessed that shit when the big power outages and shit like that. People weren't looting each other. People were checking on each other, seeing if they're okay, seeing if they get help. So I don't know, man. I'm still unconvinced that the doom and gloom that I've been hearing my entire fucking life.
Right. It's always right around the corner, it seems like.
Yeah, exactly. From when I was a kid till now, I've heard the doom and gloom, and it hasn't happened yet. And they've always said it's happening right around the fucking corner. Here it comes.
Yeah, unplug.
So it's hard for me to fucking give a lot of credence to that.
You're not wrong, man. A lot of it is the propaganda and the fear mongering, right? Like, you plug yourself into the news stations, you're gonna get that constant slow drip of that every day. But yeah, cut that cable or cut that cord or whatever they say.
Yeah, but it's still important, I think, to try to stay up on the news a little bit, know what's going on in the world. It's not like it's super friendly right now in the world.
Well,
like, don't plan a trip to Russia anytime soon. I wouldn't plan a trip to Russia or probably China right now.
Or how about Oakland County, Michigan? I mean, there's been 2 mass shootings in the last few years here, one being this past weekend, and they were 20 miles apart from each other, and it's like, it's just
the
sucks,
east side's
man.
supposed to be the good side of town. Like, what is the good side of town?
That's one of the wealthiest counties in the nation, dude.
You just need to fucking fuck, dude. I don't even know what you can do. All I can do is just fucking grow a garden, fucking hang out in my garden, make it as beautiful as I can. Yeah, design a reason to not need a vacation or not need to go get away from home. You know what I mean? That's what I do. Call me a homebody, but you know what? I don't know. I enjoy it this way. I enjoy providing and doing the seeds of the labor deal. It's good for me. Feels good. I'd rather get my exercise digging with a shovel than somebody
picking
else
things up and putting them down.
Yeah, the sweaty fucking whatever juice on a mat that I gotta wipe off. And I don't know, dude.
I feel that though.
It's not nihilism. I'm certainly like in love with like life. You know what I mean? I'm not a nihilist ever. I think that what we have is a fucking amazing thing, and I really try. Like, I do try to like say, you know, just tune it out and just do something else. We really try to not look at news, but I'll tell you what. I mean, I do. I pass through. I don't pay attention to any major news network that we have here in the United States. None of our major news networks, independent news sourcing, Al Jazeera, stuff like that. Like a lot of that stuff that gives not really any part of the two-sided party. It's not really corporate. It's not oligarchy. It's
just another state media, though. You know what I mean? Like
some of them are independent.
Just like RT.
Some are independent, though.
Al Jazeera's not, though.
Not Al Jazeera's not. I'm not worried about that one, but
that was the one you gave.
But it's
you guys like my whistling carb cat, by the way?
It's got way more information than CBS. And what I don't like is that there's always two side stories. They're never. It's never information. It's always opinion. You know, and that's like what we get here is it's CNN and Fox, and the two is like they're both like, what's the information? You know what I mean? Because they're both of them give you different information. Like if it's the news, they should be the same information.
Well, if that's the only source of information you have, watch them both. You know the information's somewhere in the middle. Watch both ends. Make your own decision.
This is both bullshit.
It's all bullshit.
What? So was it? It must have been Trump
somewhere.
It must have been Trump that shifted
my opinion is it's all
far left media perspective from MSNBC to CNN, because I thought during like the Bush and Obama era it was just MSNBC and Fox, and CNN was in the middle, I thought, and then like Trump just started poking the CNN bear, right, and like just focused on them, and now like they're like the left-leaning one or whatever. It's confusing to me because I don't know. CNN I thought was supposed to be in the middle, or was at one point. I don't know. Maybe they're just like these
I don't
three.
think they're in the middle. No, they're not.
Were they at some point, or was I just bamboozled?
I thought they were. I thought they all were at some point. I think in the last like decade or something, shit's gotten really weird. I don't know. I don't think it has anything to do with government. I think it has to do with corporate entity. I think it all has to do with the oligarchy that it has.
Well, we know that the government's influencing it too. Just look at the whole Twitter files, right? Like we know that the government is influencing it. So
it's also
corporate, but
foreign governments
had nothing to do with it. They had everything to do with Trump just doing what he does. He picked out somebody that did a bad story about him, and then he started picking back. So instead of allowing you to get away with an attack on him, he just attacks back, six his minions on him, and then walks away.
And I think
that's what that was about. Yeah, it's just like everybody wants to pick a side. Everybody wants to pick his team. They don't need facts. They just say, "Oh, attack! Okay, boom."
Right
now we're attacking that.
There's a puppet master, and it's whatever it's whoever's holding the cards, and it's certainly not. It's the war machine. It's the pharma machine. It's the oil machine. It used to be the logging machine, but I think that's become the plastic. It's become the oil machine. You know what I mean? I'm
not gonna lie, it's entertaining to watch. I'll say I will hands down say that Donald Trump is the most entertaining person to run for president ever that I've ever seen in my life.
Our politics is a game show. It's a game
shit that he gets away with is amazing. Like the stuff he just says, just straight up says, and nobody bats an eye. Or it's just like what?
There's no other candidates in the debates. You don't get to see any other.
Oh, it's totally rigged. They don't show you all the candidates. They give you two candidates. It's ridiculous.
We used to get like 6 or 8 candidates back in the day. We don't get anything anymore.
Are they? It's because they changed the rules. So there's an organization that
who changed the rules.
there's an organization that runs the debates, and that organization is owned by the Republican and Democratic parties mutually. And so they're the ones that set the rules for the debates at the media level. They're the ones that decide whether the third party candidates get in based on the percentage of votes they get at the state, primary levels. There's like this whole rule set to it, and they've set it up so that they are the ones that get to decide that only their nominees get to debate. And that's even if they get to debate, because let us not forget that in the last presidential election, they decided that there weren't going to be debates at a certain point. And I think they've gone back on that now for this election, but I certainly hope that there's going to be a debate. I think that's honestly a big part of why Trump lost the last election, because the way he did run his mouth in that debate.
Yeah, this one they're talking about cutting mics off and everything else, which is ridiculous. It's like you can't even control yourselves. You're supposed to be grown adult humans. You can't even control yourselves to not talk when it's not your turn. They have to cut off your mic. Yeah, it's amazing. But I'll still be I'll be a dummy watching. I'll still be watching. I'm not gonna lie. But I don't know. I think it's curious that that same group that Red was just, or that Ferrelli was just talking about, the debate committee, that when they used to let the third parties in and everything, Ross Perot got a lot of votes.
That was
got a lot of votes one year, and then right after that, they decided you have to get at least 3%, I think it is, votes or something like that nationwide to be able to participate in the votes. It's no longer, if you're in a party or not. We're just gonna only allow people that have the most votes. The most interest.
Too many people are not following the status quo. Like you have to follow the status quo, man. You know, if you don't, lots of trouble. Lots of trouble for you. You know, you need church, my friend. Don't follow the status quo.
And so in other news, did you guys see how Michigan and in one metric now is a bigger cannabis market than California even? Did you guys see that news come out in the last couple of days?
I saw that in
yes,
units supplied.
Right. So that's the caveat here. It's not like we're a bigger market in dollar value. California is right around 5 billion. We're right around 3.1, 3.2, something like that. But in terms of total units or packages or products sold, we have arisen above California, which is an interesting metric. I think it's a fair one to track, but I don't know if it's a fair one to say that we're bigger. I mean, I know in this one metric we are or whatever, but I don't know if that's really means we're a bigger market. Now, certainly a lot of caveats there. Black market, traditional market, carrier market, medical market, and both are a lot, pretty, I guess thriving would be one word. Maybe not thriving, but they exist. That's for sure. Somewhere in between those two. And then with Michigan, the thing I think we pointed out kind of recently was, we're holding down the Midwest. So there's 2 states that border us with 0 laws on their books whatsoever for medical or recreational cannabis, being Wisconsin and Indiana. Ohio just added it to their list. Illinois, Texas are crazy. And, we see boys up from Pennsylvania and the surrounding states, Kentucky as well. So, we're pretty much supplying the Midwest, I think. And that has a big part of why this metric is where it's at. It's just interesting now, if you want to compare that, directly correlate it to, total dollars spent. And it's like, wait, is Michigan just dirt cheap? What's happening? So I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that, but that's my recap of my understanding.
The bottom fell out of the bucket. It went to the well and it fell out the bucket.
Is that just it?
That's what happened here. Yeah. I would say that the statistics are from metric, and the taxes collected, and the not taxes at all, just units
moved.
So
are we selling more grammars than ounces? Are they just buying by the ounce out there and we're just selling by the gram, or what's going on?
I think that there's the weed.
No, we're selling more fucking pre-rolls, bro. We're selling all this cheapest shit. We're giving them away free, and that counts as a unit.
Penny.
That's one of the units of measurement was pre-roll.
You penny out products, and they're definitely pennying out products.
Selling outdoor for nothing.
The cost of living is different. There is definitely a difference in that. That's gonna have, there's probably steeper taxation going on the top end out there.
Oh, good point.
There's probably, just because of that and because of their license fees and all of that, they probably have a higher price per gram out there. It's hard for me to think that they have a different competition. Like, I'm sure that they have like their MSO corporation status that's trying to outbid people, as far as buying up all the licenses that they can, as far as dropping the price to a bare minimum.
Well, a lot of those places have closed down even recently, right? Like, think about MedMen, right? Those like big ones, they're like under real. Yeah. But if you think about some of the smaller, still technically MSOs, I know Jungle Boys operates there. They also operate in Florida. I'm sure 710 Labs might be one we can look at, because I think they operate in Michigan. And where else, guys?
Colorado. The 710's in Colorado.
What's one that's in California and Michigan? The Wana's one. There's a bunch of them, a bunch of edible brands in both.
One might be in Washington too. They're like
one of the biggest.
Like a brand though. Nobody here like what's weird is that like Wana here is High Life Farms, so it's not Wana.
Well, it's a license. That's where it is everywhere. It's just a licensed brand. Yeah, well, it's the SOPs and the packaging and the logo. And
packaging. It's not a licensee. Wana's not a licensee. It's a brand. You know what I mean?
Right.
Brand that's licensed.
They license out their IP to processor / manufacturers.
Right.
So then, what are we looking at then? Because I just want to compare prices of units, so to speak. You know what I mean?
No.
Look at an eighth of weed. Look at an eighth of weed on a high end here.
Dispensaries in San Diego, California. The first one to come up is Harbor Collective, probably because it's an advertisement. But let's view the menu. Yes, I'm 21 or older.
What was it? Yeah, go to like, what about Harborside or one of those? Like, I don't know if Harbor Collective is the same one.
I don't know, but it's got 4,000 reviews, so I think it's a probably decent option. So there you go, Kiva. They're in both, right? $26 for 100 milligrams. Wow. All right.
Jesus.
I think Kiva and
Wana. Both out of High Life.
Well, they might both be. I don't know if one are the same thing, but they're definitely both High Life here. Are they High Life in California as well? High Life might be the Colorado and Michigan deal. They might have
52.
High Life is owned by the Solanis.
They're about $50
over the country.
So that's MGM Casino. Oh, fucking tick on my neck.
There's eighth for $20. Here's an eighth for $53.
What the fuck?
Oh, I did have a fucking tick on my neck. God damn it.
Oh shit.
Well, now we're gonna be all fucking scratching.
Yeah, dude. Damn it. That's weird. I mean, here's some GMO cookies for 20. The price ranges are wild. A pre-roll for $15.
Just in their own price there. So as little as 20, so as high as 52.
I mean,
look at, they have 14 grams of the shaken espresso for 52, the same as the price of their fucking 8.
Right.
What the hell?
I don't know what's happening here in San Diego at this.
It's Rockstar. Oh, because it's Rockstar, OG. That's why, because that's fucking Rockstar. You want to smoke like a rock star? Get to Rockstar OG.
All right, so now let's pull up Ann Arbor. I feel like that's probably
Let's pull up Winewood Organics.
well, yeah, but that's a micro business.
Damn it, that fucked me up, dude. I'm gonna be all fucked up. Damn it.
Now you gotta think they're in your ears and your nose and shit.
Dude, that fucker was right here. I was like, is that a tick? No, that ain't nothing. Yeah, it was. Fuck. I swear they're so elusive, little fuckers, man. They
Yeah,
feel
dude.
just like your skin.
Yeah, I fucking hate them.
So weird.
Some tea tree oil soap.
Just put some
Smells-
Frugoli body butter on you, man.
Put some body butter on.
Seriously, tea tree, lavender, and eucalyptus. We found it helps keep the mosquitoes and ticks away.
Sure.
Not FDA approved advice or whatever, but it turns out it works.
I've been out there cutting the fucking grass.
Surprised you get you just in your backyard?
No, out at the farm.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
I was going
surprised
through
you
the
got
fucking
sticks right
olives,
there.
dude. I was running fucking trails through the olives, and I got fucking olive branches in my hair, and I'm feeling all kind of ticky now.
So here, this is cloud cannabis. I think in Ann Arbor.
Babe eater.
There we go. So 3.5 for 35.
Find a Kiva bar for the same product. You can find a Kiva bar. Exact. They might not have it at Cloud, but they got it at New Standard would have it.
You baked $6 for 200 milligrams.
Look at that. Look at the difference.
200
Look
milligrams.
at the difference there.
All right.
What do they want? Like
Yeah,
20 bucks?
Barracuda's are close. Barracuda's the same price point.
15 for 100. 200 for 15. Interesting. Those Terra is, I think, also High Life. I thought maybe not.
It is, yeah.
Okay. Let's just do this.
Yeah, there's a
There you go.
Yeah, $10,
$10.
$11 cheaper, or something like that. I mean, that's crazy.
What's that? Is that 100 milligrams or 200 milligrams?
I'm sure it's 100. Yeah.
100. They started doing 200 recently, so
18, $20.
Those are Rush is right by us. That's in Saline, right by us.
Jars
That's
is
Rush.
a big brand.
There's like fucking one car in their parking lot. That's the other thing.
25 and 8.
I'm curious
Dude,
where
Rollins
business
Cannabis,
is going.
Faded Cannabis. They got some great names.
It's got to be. It's got to be
Glitter
different
Bomb.
than yours.
15 a gram is their most expensive flower.
Are you in Michigan still?
Yeah, this is at Jars
Yeah.
in Ann Arbor.
Emergency. Lemon Tart Pucker. That sounds interesting. 16% THC. It probably has good fucking terps though. 15/8 though. Jesus. Killing people.
Who's the grower on that one? Does it say?
It just says Jars Cannabis.
710 Labs.
710 Labs.
Oh, okay.
$30 half gram vape pens, guys. $30 half gram rosin pots.
What the fuck?
$45
That's
half gram rosin pots.
Crazy prices.
Are those distillate?
No, they're
Another-
rosin.
Live resin.
Rosin.
It doesn't say live.
Rosin?
Just
It's
says
rosin. It can't be live. It's rosin.
$30 rosin?
Yeah. $30 half gram Tropicana grape cake
Damn.
rosin pod.
Dude.
Live
Yeah.
rosin pod.
I'm telling you, man.
Read it with my own eyes. Live rosin. They fresh froze that baby.
Every time the bucket drops to the well, the bottom's
Ooh,
gonna
Stizzy.
drop out. And it did.
That's the Stizzies though. Those are the ones that just failed testing in their pesticides, man.
$15
Ones like
1 gram Disty pod.
That's a Cali brand.
Disty
Cannabis derived terpenes, though.
Cannabis derived terpenes, bro. It's the real legit stuff. 87% THC, just what you need.
Local single source cannabis plants. That means what they mean by that is one grower. single sourced, not single sourced.
Hey, they got a virtual trophy, Best of Weed Maps 2024, man. Best of Weed Maps. It makes it good stuff.
What does this mean? Cannabis-derived terpenes.
Stizzy's cannabis-derived terpenes preserve this natural terpene profile of each flower strain to deliver optimum synergy and blend. So maybe they maybe they distill the terps out of their lowers and spray it on their uppers to make them extra terpene.
And they have to actually distinguish in their marketing, because people will assume botanical terpenes. Otherwise,
maybe they buy CBD terpenes.
How about right from the
cheap
website? What
and
are
others would argue that
terpenes?
a terpene is a terpene, and it wouldn't matter anyways. I like that array of fruits and
yeah, right. It really is a good representation. No, just tell me where you're getting your cannabis-derived terpenes.
Yeah, my guess is it's just to avoid the assumption of botanical terpenes, and it's probably they're just getting it from their wheat. It's probably just the terpenes that already exist in the plant. It's probably no additional terpenes. It's probably just
they got that part right though, the terpier fresh frozen part.
Or is it distillate with terpenes added, or is it full plant extract?
Here's what we're looking for. Notice that the cannabis products like weed pens and pods contain either cannabis-derived terpenes or botanical terpenes. What's the difference? Weed pods with cannabis-derived terpenes are extracted directly from cannabis and hemp plants. There you go, gentlemen and ladies. Botanical terpenes come from other plants. So these are just hemp-derived terpenes. They say both, but a majority of it's coming from that hemp.
Yep. It's cheap.
So cheap.
But it's still cannabis-derived terpenes. Still derived from
the cannabis family, sure. I mean, like we could draw out hops and still call it.
I'm going to go back to my old saying. I'm going to call it my old saying.
It's not a lemon tree that they're deriving it from.
Right. Or it's not a botanical terpene, right? So that's where they are classifying it as correctly, but maybe distinguish it as hemp-derived.
I'm going to distinguish it like this, and that's like if you have to add terpenes from an outside source onto your final fucking product.
Yeah, it's still
grow better fucking weed. Grow better weed.
It's added terpenes regardless.
That's true. Well, but we need to. I don't want to say educate, because it's we like. How do you inform people that sprayed terps aren't a good thing, though? You know what I mean? Because that's what a portion of the market wants.
Right there is like, I would explain to them, do you know what terpenes are? And then they would tell me everything I don't know about terpenes, I'm sure, and educate me. And then after that, I would say, so wouldn't you want them in the same concentrations that the plant sets them in, instead of putting your own concentration in that you don't know what the results would be, but you can at least trust the plant having the natural levels. Dude, and what would this say?
So many people say
you're talking over my head.
Dude,
then you don't deserve to smoke this plant. You need to do more research. Come back and talk
stick to your shitty disty carts, you fucking
go smoke a disty cart then.
There's people out there that are ready for the tailored experience, to where you can like basically go to the Coca-Cola machine and put your genetic code, and they will design the cannabinoid ratio and terpene ratio for you, and it's no longer.
They need to go be cyborgs then.
And people are excited for this, though. They're excited for this. They are down for this option, and I don't want it just as I want just the natural plant, whatever. Let me do the pheno hunt and find it, But they are ready for it to be readily available without any effort. That thus is the American dream, man. Right.
Like they'll do a cheek swab. Yep. Put it in the machine.
Yep.
and then I'll spit a little mix of terpenes and cannabinoids that they need, and it'll come out in a little crystal clear fucking dab goo material that comes out of a 3D
machine, and you go, I want a 15% or I want a 38, I want a 92% THC.
No, it's gonna take you. It doesn't matter what you want. It's gonna take your fucking DNA and fucking look at that shit with that cheek swab. It's gonna give you what you fucking need. And so you don't have to say you don't have any input. You just input your fucking DNA with your cheek swab. That's all your only input allowed. And then fucking out comes the perfect fucking shit for you to dab. And you dab that fucking machine-made bullshit, and I'm gonna tell you my shit's better every time. Like that.
I wish they put this much focus and energy into the. No, I don't. Keep it away from the food.
Because I think there's still something. The reason I say this, I think there's something missing. They can't replicate. But I don't think we're yet at the ability to replicate everything. We still haven't identified everything.
But pure replication. Hold on, but pure replication isn't always the necessity, right, of the product. Like just meeting the needs of the consumer is the necessity, right? And you look at a different.
No, I think there's some safety necessities.
I understand, but if you look at a somewhat aligned industry, look at the tobacco industry and how they've transferred from literally smoking tobacco, which obviously is still a huge thing, but with regulation and kind of public. Maybe it's the propaganda and all that, like we talked about earlier, but public societal kind of shift on this. There's a lot less smoking now, but a lot more vaping, like the vape pens and shit like that, which didn't exist, I don't know how many years ago.
Yeah.
That is a totally different product. They're not using tobacco plants to make that stuff, I don't think, right?
Still a harm reduction. I think it's still a harm reduction step. I think maybe a little bit less harmful.
That might be right, and I honestly hope it is, but does that? I'm trying to compare this situation to like the cannabis plant, and like yes, we're out of convenience smoking pre-rolls and like carts right now, but is it ultimately going to have this transition where we just get away from the plant material itself, and now we're on this Coke machine that fills up our vape pods, with 90% THC and 3% terpinolene and 2% myrcene and whatever else.
Right, but I hope that ultimately, if it comes to that at the end, like that's at what the consumer sees. I hope that there's still room, if it's not everywhere, still for the inputs on the beginning of that chain is still the cannabis plant growing in a pot or growing, outside in the ground. That it's still derived from the cannabis plant, it's still harvested, and
I would hope so too. But with the vape pen example, it's not.
How so? You don't think that I still think there's plenty of examples of people growing plants and then harvesting those plants and then turning the majority of that plant into vape cartridges.
I understand what you're saying there, but with the nicotine-based vape cartridges or vape pens or like the Breeze and the ones that look like Stizzies, the Juuls and stuff like that.
Juuls, yeah.
There is that nicotine derived from tobacco plants? Because if not, I guarantee nothing in that vape pod is derived from a tobacco plant.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. What they got going on?
I honestly don't. I propylene glycol maybe and like nicotine and maybe a little bit of flavoring.
That's what they use. Yeah, cannabis stuff is that.
You know what I mean? So that's why I'm worried that just out of pure convenience and mass production, it goes to something like that. And we really get away from the actual growing of the plant, which I think is probably what they'd like, because anyone can do that, and meet the needs of.
They don't have to grow cannabis to get cannabinoids and terpenes. They've been synthesizing terpenes since like the 40s, dude, out of petroleum. Alexander Shulgin and Albert Hoffman and all those dudes that did all the psychedelic research over the years. Those guys started in the fucking pharmacology. Alexander Shulgin specifically, he was a terpene. He worked with terpenes specifically to design. I think they were designing cannabinoids, or they were creating CBD or THC or something like that with terpenes or something like that. And then prior to that, I think that they were using or I think that from that they were using like petroleum or something like that and turning that into terpenes or something like that. So like basically petroleum will make anything. I think it's the carbon chain in petroleum, and you can just pretty much design anything you want out of it. It's fucking
So
over
it's
my
like
head on how
like
it
a
works.
miracle product that we just don't have enough of, kind of thing, or something.
Yes. I fuck it. It's over my head on how it works, but they can pretty much create any chemical structure that's
I
organic.
think there's a UFO over by Ruben right now. Like I can see
Dude,
the
he's
beam.
like, he's like, "Ooh."
Well, with that, everyone, that's the Late Sesh. Thanks for joining, and we'll probably see you this coming week for some MBGS. Back at it on Sunday, guys. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah,
Keep
I don't
growing,
think
everybody.
going on this weekend.
Awesome. I know, dude. It was 6 out of 9 days I was on the road for this. It was just like I am so dead right now. I'm so dead. But cheers, guys. Love y'all.
Peace out, guys. Have a great one.